Good morning, Kansas City. Welcome to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. I'm Kevin Kietzman, your host for the next hour. Leading up to the Vince Show on KCMO. We got a nice show lined up today. At the end, our Dead Stone Cold Lock of the Week will be up, where you definitely want to take the opposite of whatever I tell you. 3-week losing streak for your humble host. Mark's been carrying the water on this. We're still above 500 as a team, but I'm not sure I've contributed much to that. We're going to lay it all on Mark. He may surprise you today. He's actually thinking about something with his pick that is just going to blow your mind a little bit. We shall see how it goes. Coming up on the broadcast today, a little bit later on, Homeland Security. Homeland Security is not very happy with the mayor of Coldwater, Kansas. This story gets an update. You may remember the the non-citizen, he's Mexican national. The Mexican national that is mayor of Coldwater, Kansas, is in a lot of hot water for living in Coldwater, let me tell you. Homeland Security now posting about him and putting press releases out and commenting on his status. This will not end well for him. We have stunning polling information for how upset people are in Great Britain about what their country is becoming with illegal immigration. CNN has a new policy. You're going to like this one. And, Mark's favorite baseball player did not win the MVP. But we start today with Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. And this may not be on your radar, but it's on mine, so you're stuck with me today. This is about SNAP benefits that we've been talking about for a month because the government shut down. I still don't know how DOJ missed SNAP. I have no idea. DOJ has done great things and continues to do great things. And they may be on this now, SNAP. Like now, because it's stunning what Brooke Rollins is saying. She's the ag secretary. Mentioned a couple of days ago that she gave an interview and said 5,000 dead people they found on SNAP and 500,000 people are getting paid double. They crooked the system to get 2 checks every month. Now we have an update on this information. This was just for 1 month. So they've got data going way back. She now says it's more like 186,000 dead people collecting SNAP benefits. And those getting double should be much larger, but they don't have that number yet. This is all derived from red state data, Kansas, Missouri, and other Republican states. The blue states are not complying with the federal government to turn this information over. The Trump administration wants all information regarding whatever you're doing with your state, with the people that are getting these benefits. The government, federal government, sends the money to the state hands it out. The state tells you how many people they're handing it out to, and that decides how much money you get. Well, she is now saying that this is the most corrupt and dysfunctional program in the history of America. On Thursday night, she gave a television interview. She said the data that they're going to get from blue states, and they will, even if they have to go to court, they will get the information from blue states. Are you listening, Laura Kelly in Kansas, who does not want to comply with this? She wants to complain that the government shut down and Kansans that are suffering are not getting their SNAP benefits. How many deaths did we have? Mark, do we know what's the death count on the SNAP, the suffering people, the vulnerable and the suffering that couldn't get by for 45 days without SNAP? How many people died?
I haven't seen numbers on that.
I think the number is 0. The number is 0 people died going 45 days without their SNAP benefits. The number is 0. I think vulnerable and suffering, starving people that go 45 days without their SNAP benefit would die. That's just me. I'm not a doctor. I'll play one on the radio right now. I think they'd be dead. But Brooke Rollins says they will get the information from the blue states. And when they do, it will be their compass to fundamentally rebuild this program. Every single person in SNAP right now is about to be forced to reapply. You got to do it all over again. We're going to cross-check you, and if there's no Social Security number, it ain't happening. If it's a dead person's Social Security number, it ain't happening. We're also going to check on your age, your well-being, your health records, whatever it takes. You're going to have to pass sort of a litmus test to prove that you are, quote, vulnerable and cannot survive without SNAP. That is the new bar that they say they're putting in. That is a safety net. When we do these government programs, the Democrats always say this is a safety net. We have to help the vulnerable and the poor and the least among us. And everybody agrees with that. You remember a month ago when they closed the government, I said there are not 42 million vulnerable, suffering, needing SNAP benefit people in America for survival. If she's wrong, and I think this is hyperbole, I don't think that Republicans will be able to achieve this. If the standard is SNAP benefits only go to those that are actually vulnerable and cannot survive without it, I am all good for this program. How many people do you think that is? Could that even be 1 million? Could there really be 1 million people in America that are so vulnerable they cannot survive without their EBT card that comes for them to go get groceries or have them delivered to their house? No. What she is saying is we got way too many people on these rolls that are defrauding us. One way they're going to find a lot of them, this is fantastic. The easiest way to find them is their tax return. Oh, your house took in combined income last year of $76,000 and you're on SNAP? Not anymore, you're not. You're out there working and lying to us, and you've been collecting this because the Democrats haven't cared, and Republicans are in this too because they've gone along with it forever, because it's not popular for, I'm not saying he is, I'll just use the example, Mark Alford, great friend of the show, for him to come out and say, oh, we're going to cut all the SNAP benefits. I mean, that's not something you run on. We're going to cut SNAP benefits for the vulnerable. That's not something you run on. So the Republicans for 30 years or longer have just gone along with all this. It's over. Now, Brooke Rollins, Donald Trump, everyone we voted for, do it. You have 3 years. You really have 1 year until the midterms, and then we'll see. But you have 3 years to figure this program out, and she says they are really going to clamp down on it. And terribly frustrated. They'll fundamentally rebuild the program. Everyone will have to reapply. They'll make sure everyone that's taking a taxpayer-funded benefit through SNAP or food stamps, that they are literally vulnerable and they cannot survive without it. That's the next step here, Brooke Rollins says. Isn't that what a government program is for? If you're vulnerable and you cannot survive without it, isn't that why we give it to you? It's not so, as a guy that called in the show and said a couple weeks ago, I was in line at the grocery store, and I watched the mom and the dad and a couple little kids go through. And I watched the mom pay for all the groceries with the SNAP card for her family. And then the man came through and got cartons of cigarettes and 2 30-packs of beer and paid cash for it. That's what they use their money for, is the beer and the cigarettes. So they can use their SNAP benefits to buy food for their kids. No, I'm not a big fan of this. Not a big fan of the way the whole thing is played out. And they just, even the Democrats don't know how to approach this topic. Wesley Bell is a representative in the House from the state of Missouri. And he's a loon. And he was on CNN yesterday. He said, I voted no to reopen the government. 650,000 people, he pounded on the table, in the state of Missouri rely on SNAP benefits. So I voted no. We got to keep fighting. And the questioner was like, well, wait a second. Wouldn't they want you to vote yes to reopen so they could get their SNAP benefits? And he goes, no. They wanted us to keep fighting so there are no changes. That's what the Democrats are hearing their constituents. Keep the big bloated program, no changes. Not, okay, I can't make it 45 days without food. He didn't hear, this Democrat in Missouri did not hear from one out of 650,000 people in Missouri getting SNAP benefits. He did not hear from one person that said, oh my God, open the government, I'm starving. That didn't happen. Nobody died. And I don't remember anybody going to the hospital for starvation. I don't. And I'm not trying to be heartless or cruel. The fact of the matter is the program is in place for the vulnerable and people that can't survive without it. What Wesley Bell was telling me is there are 650,000 people in Missouri on SNAP that he can rely on to be Democrat voters. And that's who he was fighting for. He was fighting for Democrats. We got vulnerable, starving people that are not getting their benefit for 45 days, but they don't want to reopen the government because they want to protect this program going forward. In other words, I'll hold out on my benefit for a while as long as you keep this thing in place so I can get back on it when the government reopens. These people know they're stealing. They know they're grifting the government. There's a whole class of people that's what they do. I've got a relative that's really good at this, and she doesn't scam the government, but is always looking for like the best deal, the back road to something to get I can use this coupon and then double it up with this one, and it saves me like every single possible function you can figure out to get around something and get something for yourself that others aren't getting. There's an entire class of people that are fixated on that. It's a personality. It's not a disorder. Channeled the proper way, it's outstanding for fiscal responsibility. Channeled the wrong way, it's a grift. And it's stealing from the government. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of people stealing from our government. Come on, Brooke Rollins, do what you say you're going to do. Come on, Trump, do it. Rewrite this thing. Reapply everyone. I can't wait. A year from now, I want to see what that 42 million number is. If we literally are talking about vulnerable and cannot survive without SNAP money, I think we're talking about 1 million people, maybe less. And most of them elderly and sick and in real trouble, real financial trouble because they're elderly. Count me in on reforming this program dramatically from what it is now. 913-408-7957. That's 913-408-7957. We'll take your calls next. We've got a couple of people in line. Clearly want to comment on this. Let's do it on KCMO Talk Radio.
From Gladstone to Gardner, it's Kevin Kietzman, Uncanceled, on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
Hey, thanks for being with us. We hope you have a great weekend. Beautiful weather for mid-November. Do something fun. Get outside. Breathe that fresh air. Have a great, great weekend. We're taking your phone calls now at 913-408-7957. We begin today with Isaac in Ottawa. Hello, Isaac. How are you today?
Hello, Kevin. I'm doing as good as I can do. This whole situation with SNAP, this is so simple yet so complicated, and I couldn't even begin to explain it unless you had a 8-hour radio show. But to make it as simple as possible, and this connects back to when I called in a week or so ago about the non-citizen mayor in Coldwater, that to put it as simply as possible is people are taking the words of the Constitution and twisting it to fit a certain narrative. That's the reason why you cannot ask people for proofs of ID. You cannot ask people for proofs of citizenship.
Yeah, that's not true.
Of residence.
We ask people for ID at the airport. We ask for people for ID to buy liquor. We ask people for ID all over the place. It's just not true. You can ask people for ID. We're just not doing it.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's not the Constitution.
We're not doing it is because people are twisting the narrative, saying that everybody has the right.
Let's get it changed.
The Fourth Amendment right.
Let's get it changed.
Right, I'm trying to. I've been working on this.
Yeah.
But and how do people, like even in these red states, get on these lists for SNAP?
It's amazing.
Because
it's amazing. But I don't know any clear thinking person that could believe 42 million Americans are starving.
I don't either. That's
ridiculous.
Just completely blows my mind.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, this is what I want to say, just to finish up, is anything, just imagine the worst possible scenario of the amount of fraud and waste there is in this country. Multiply that by a factor of 10, and we're probably beyond that.
Yeah.
Just because everything is so twisted. My best advice to everybody that's listening, get yourself a copy of the Constitution. Read it.
They got a little pocket one you can put right in your pocket or keep it right in your wallet, Isaac. I love that. Good call. Thank you, sir. And as it pertains to what you were talking about and the Constitution and whatever, we've been talking about this filibuster thing. If we want to get all these things done, Trump wants to get rid of the filibuster. Ben Shapiro put this out the other day, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely right. What the Republicans need to do is put forth a constitutional amendment to make the filibuster permanent as a constitutional amendment. If the Democrats don't vote for it, then the Republicans get rid of the filibuster. Think about that for a second. That's the simplest thing ever. We want to keep this. We agreed to it. Let's make it a constitutional amendment that it stays. If the Democrats don't vote for it, it doesn't pass, and then Trump and the Republicans get rid of the filibuster. Here's Derek calling in from Oak Grove. Hi, Derek. Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yep. I'm just wondering why you have so much energy to talk about these SNAP recipients when we spend much more on corporate subsidies than we do on SNAP benefits.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Republican politician in Florida, Rick Scott.
Yeah.
He defrauded the government, did a Medicare scam, had to pay, I think, $1 billion fine.
Has he been arrested? My God, he should go to jail. Is he in jail?
Just stop. This is a fact. I don't know what you're trying to do.
I'm just
right
asking.
Now.
If he defrauded the government from all that money, he should have been arrested, right? Biden didn't arrest him for that?
Stop interrupting.
I'm not interrupting. I'm asking you if Rick Scott is in jail.
No, he paid a fine and then got elected again for defrauding the government. So you seem to think that these powerless people are somehow able to get more money out of the government than the most powerful people in America.
Okay,
I'm just interested.
No. Hang on one second, sir. I'll let you talk again. I want to say one thing because the first thing you asked is why are you more concerned about SNAP than this other thing that's more money? I don't care how much money any program is. I hate fraud. I don't want people stealing my tax dollars. And when some dude is using SNAP to feed his kids and rolls through with 2 30-packs and 8 cartons of cigarettes, I'm down with that. I don't like that. It's got to go. All right,
Okay.
that's
You
defrauding
think
me.
you think that is defrauding
Yes.
you worse than what you pay on corporate subsidies?
Again,
You're wrong.
I don't.
You are
Again,
factually
no.
wrong
I
right
answered
now.
your question. The dollar amount to me does not matter. All fraud is fraud. I'm with you on corporate corruption and fraud. I'm with you. I'm agreeing with you that there are all kinds of problems, many that are bigger and more money. I don't care. This is an easy one to fix. Let's stop this. Just like the border was easy to
You
fix.
don't even know how many people actually need it. You're baselessly speculating.
Do you think it's
that there's
42
less than
million?
40 million people.
Do you think it's 42 million?
No, I'm not an expert.
No, you
Kevin.
won't
Are
answer
you an
that
expert?
question.
Do
You
have
won't even
any
come close to
stats
answering
about
that.
this?
Answer the question. How many do you
What
think it
think
is?
means, Kevin, what makes you think it's not 40 million? What stats do you have to give us that it's not 40 million?
I
We would
don't.
love
It's
to
my
hear it.
opinion. What's your opinion? Do you think?
Exactly.
So you
Yes,
believe the
I think
government. You just believe the government. I thought you didn't like the government. You thought it was fraudulent.
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
I said there are people defrauding the government.
Okay, how many?
That's
How
what
many?
I said.
So, of all things the government tells you, what percentage do you believe?
Dude, like, why are you asking?
I'm
me this
asking
pointless
you.
question?
I'm having a
Why don't
debate with
focus on
you.
what I'm saying?
I'm being honest. You're not being honest. How many of the 42 million people do you think really need to be on SNAP?
Kevin, you just called me a liar. What
No,
am
I did not
lying
call you a
about?
liar. I said you're being dishonest in this debate.
About what? About what?
How many of the 42 million do you think really need the benefit?
It might be even more. You realize Trump got
It's not
elected
more because that's all we're paying.
Are you gonna let me talk? Are you gonna let me
How
talk?
can it be more when we're paying 42 million?
Dude, these guys are getting elected right now because of an affordability crisis. You want to spend 4 years saying that the economy's crap because of Biden, and then you're surprised that there's
I didn't say
42
that.
million people on SNAP. Like, you're hilarious to me. You're not even going to look up any stats to justify what you're saying, but you're going to spew
Here's
this
the
crap,
stat.
people.
Here's the stat, okay? I'll give you a stat. When Joe Biden took over, it was 17 million. When his wait, you let me finish. You wanted a stat. When he started, it was 17 million on SNAP. When he ended, it was 42 million. That's fraud.
Okay, that's fraud. I thought the economy was bad. Was the economy bad under him or not?
I don't know. I don't even know.
You don't know if the economy was bad under
The stock
Joe Biden.
market
You
was
never
great.
gave an opinion on that.
Inflation was terrible. I don't think the economy was horrible. It was during COVID. I don't know about the economy, how horrible it was. Stock markets did well. Some things did okay. But inflation was crazy. And interest rates are crazy. Nah, dude, you won't be honest about this. You got no chance of being honest. Here's Bob in Lee Summit. What's up, Bob? How are you?
Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Fine, thank
I
you.
want to make a comment on welfare in general. When Johnson started his Great Society back in the 60s after the Watts riots in L.A. when they burned down half of L.A., the overriding motive for starting welfare essentially was to keep Democrats in office. And that was Johnson's own. He admitted that personally, that it would keep them in office for the next 50 years. So they created a whole voter base with this discussing welfare crap, and people that are able-bodied are on it and can work. That's what gets me.
Yeah. No, there's just so many programs and so many things out there that drive us absolutely crazy. I am fixated on the SNAP thing. I'm totally fixated on this thing. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ripe with fraud. It's easy to defraud it, you know?
And we've created a class of people who believe it's their right to do so.
Sure. And there's no case-by-case basis in looking at who should receive benefits and who shouldn't.
Right.
They just don't care. They just dole the money out, and it's our money.
They justify it. They think they're Robin Hood. Thank you for the call. Excellent call. We're up against a hard break here. That's a really good call. They think they're Robin Hood. Hey, we deserve this stuff because we're poor and there's a whole bunch of rich people, and then we're taking this stuff. Whether we need it or not, we're taking it because it's available. Uncanceled continues.
Hey, it's Vince Gallane's Catch My News Show at 11 o'clock after Kevin Kietzman on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back to the show. We'll get to the phones in just a couple of moments. I wanted to update you on this story out of Coldwater, Kansas. Jose Caballos, the Mexican national mayor of Coldwater, Kansas, is in real trouble with Homeland Security. They're now giving statements and putting out posts on social media about the Mexican mayor in Coldwater. He has committed at least 3 counts of voter fraud registration, naturalization fraud, and election perjury. In 1995, the mayor of Coldwater, Kansas, was convicted of battery. They refer to him in the release as the alien committed felonies by voting. They just refer to him as the alien. There's a lot of things I like about Homeland Security. Putting out these releases must just drive the left crazy when you're referring to this man as an alien. And he's integrated into his community. They know him. I'm not saying he's in any danger to commit battery again. People do better. He grew up, all those things. This dude has been in our country since 1990 and never bothered to become a citizen. This is the problem with our immigration in the United States. Everybody used to come here with the express purpose of becoming an American. I always point to Salvador Perez of the Royals. He got a tiny little taste of being here as a very young man. Didn't speak a lick of English. The Royals were absolutely convinced he was a good defensive catcher and could be a backup. Maybe a starter, but they didn't think he could hit a lick. He went on to set a single-season record for catchers hitting home runs in the hardest home run ballpark in baseball. Salvador Perez is a Hall of Famer. He never stopped from day one in Surprise, Arizona, and in the minor leagues for his desire to become an American citizen and move his mom here and his family here. And he did it. This guy in Coldwater, not interested. Most people that have come here over the last 10, 15, 20 years, not interested. They don't want to be citizens. They want to be a Mexican national. They want to root for their soccer team. They want to go home when they want to, and they want to make money here and take advantage of us. No, this is a simple one. Our immigration policy, the best thing we can do to change the policy, you got to do it on merit, clearly. If we let you in, you have 5 years to become a citizen or you're gone for good. Figure it out. Speak English, learn the Constitution, pass the tests, become a citizen. That's immigration. Not just opening your border and letting people come in. That mayor is facing up to 5 years in prison or deportation. I'd give him his choice. Do you want to go through a trial? You have a lawyer? Do you want to go broke defending yourself? You want a public defender against the United States government? Or do you want to go back to Mexico? And I'm sorry, I know he's been here a long time and he's been integrated in many ways. Got to go. You can't cheat us for that long and commit crimes, felonies, and expect to get away with it. I'm sorry. Zero tolerance. You're gone. Here's Stephen on KCMO Talk Radio. Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, Kevin. Happy weekend.
You too, buddy.
Let's hope we get a good Chiefs win. I'm not even that concerned much about the cigarettes and the beer. I mean, we can get to that later, but it's sort of like an Occam's razor answer to your question. I mean, Joe Biden let in 10 to 20 million illegal immigrants, and they wanted to change the system, and they signed them all up for SNAP and benefits, and they're going to put them in and make Missouri and Texas red states or purple states. So, I would immediately try and verify, if I was Brooke Rollins, get every illegal immigrant out of SNAP. I mean, that's
well, the easiest way they're going to do that if they reapply, Stephen. If they say, and I think 90 days should be the number. They should notify everyone with their next payment. You have 90 days to reapply, or you're subject to losing your benefits. And guess what?
Yeah.
The illegals are not even going to apply because they know they're going to get caught.
Right. It's extremely easy to lose, midterm elections over this stuff. We know we're going to get demagogued about this thing. But like you said, that's the most logical thing is to...
How? I mean, if you're asking them to reapply and you're finding fraud that break the current rules, we're not changing the rules. We're just saying let's reapply and let's enforce the rules of SNAP.
The first thing I would start to do, I know it's politically incorrect, I would make every person from Mexico who doesn't have ID, I would make them apply first. I would get to our American citizens later. I know there's fraud there, but we have got to.
No. Your checks end in 90 days if you don't reapply. It's over. You notify everyone with their check, with their card, that you have 90 days to reapply. Here's your form. If we don't hear from you, you will never get paid again.
You just watch. I mean, the blue states are going to slow roll this like you wouldn't believe it. Brooke Rollins, God bless her. You know, if she can get this done in 2 or 3 years, it would be amazing.
This would be the easiest ruling for the Supreme Court in history. Does the federal government have the right to have the information of people that they're paying food stamps to? Of course they do.
Look what they just did to us on Obamacare, on just the tax credits for Obamacare that we still haven't resolved. And if we step into this food thing, if we step into the SNAP thing, I mean, I want every single person that I don't have that comes over from Mexico or wherever around the world, and they came from all around the world. I want to make their lives extremely difficult.
Well,
I want to make them so difficult that they have to self-deport.
I don't see how any.
That's where I'm at right now.
Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. I just don't see how any American can think it's unfair that you are asked to reapply for your benefits. We're doing an update. Those of you that have health care through your workplace, how often do you have to reapply? Every year? Almost every company I know, if you want health care through the company, you have to reapply every year because the company's always looking for a better plan to save them money, and every employee has to jump through all the hoops. If you want the benefit, you follow the rules. That's just like that's not even American. That's like humanity. It's right versus wrong. Somebody's going to give you something. You have to do something for it. You can call this work. If you go to work for somebody and they're going to pay you, you have to do things for that company or that person to get paid. If the government is paying you, you have to do something. And maybe your argument's going to be, well, what about Social Security? The checks just come in. You've already fulfilled your commitment. You paid into the system for 40-some years. You turn 62 or 65 or 70 whenever you decide to take it, and you get your benefit. You fulfilled it. You had to do something for that. You had to pay them about $10 for every dollar you're going to get. Was not a good deal, but it is a deal, and you have earned it. If you want your SNAP benefit every single month, you need to reapply. It should absolutely be like health insurance. Once a year, everyone on SNAP should reapply. We're going to run you through the database. We're going to find out if you're now working. Maybe you got a job. Maybe now you're gainfully employed, you're off SNAP. It's just not, there's nothing controversial about that. Stephen's fear was, it's going to kill him in the midterms. No, because there are not 42 million people qualified for SNAP. It was 17 million 4 years ago. 4.5 years ago, it was 17 million. So it's logical to believe that there's a lot of fraud. Maybe there's some Americans involved in that, but I think a lot of them are illegal. Those people are not going to sign up again. If they fill the form out, here's the problem if you're an illegal alien, you're on SNAP. When you get a notice that says 90 days to reapply, if you reapply and they find you as an illegal alien, you've probably lied on your application. Now you face deportation. They don't want it. If you've stayed here, I'll bet some of these people are gone. I'll bet some of these people I wonder how many have self-deported and somehow somebody they know is still collecting this that's here. Like maybe they had an American friend or they left the address behind or they were sharing an apartment or an apartment complex or they have a relative or whatever it may be and they're gone. They've self-deported, but that benefit is still coming in and being used by somebody they know. Now, this thing is ripe with fraud. Of all the questions out there, that's why I said about Doge. Like I didn't know about USAID. There were a lot of things that Doge found that I had no idea the money we were wasting and the things we were doing. But I didn't know. Like SNAP's a relatively new term to me. I always grew up with the term food stamps. And I guess there are still something called food stamps or a food stamps program. But SNAP is like the enhanced version of that, which is how it grew. which is all the Democrats ever do. They put a program in place, and then they want to grow it in emergency times, like COVID. I mean, these wicked people used COVID. They brandished it like a sword, man. It was cruel what they did to American citizens and taxpayers in the name of COVID. First of all, COVID itself, what they did to people, as the science is fact. There is no moving science. We're just going to stop all medical science because we have all the answers now. It's 2020. COVID's here. We have all the answers. There's no reason to ever look for anything else. We are brilliant and geniuses, so we can just, no scientists need to work going forward. We know everything, and it's fact. Well, it wasn't. It was wrong. What they told us we had to do was wrong. They controlled us. They crashed the economy. Then they got control, and then they raised government spending in order to gain more votes and try to stay in power. That's what it was. It's never about the program for Democrats. It's never about helping people with Democrats. Every single program they come up with is to get more votes. That's all it is. There's nothing else on their minds. How do we get more votes? Let's give more stuff away. Let's expand this program. James is in Olathe on KCMO Talk Radio. Good morning, James.
Hey, good morning. You know, I get frustrated with the Republicans because their messaging, I think, is terrible. They should be making these Democrats, they should be wearing them out with this stuff. You know, where's the Democrat that has feigned any outrage about anything that Doge found? Not a one.
Right.
And the Republicans ought to be calling them out. Is there any patriotic Democrats left in this world that will condemn this stuff? Because if you don't, you obviously approve it.
I do think that Ben Shapiro had the right idea. You want to do something brilliant with the Democrats? You propose a constitutional amendment to keep the Senate filibuster at 60. Let's put this in the Constitution so we can never mess with this. They will every single Democrat would vote no. Republicans have nothing to fear. They could go all the way across and vote yes. We want to make an amendment out of this. We'll keep it forever.
Yeah.
And then when the Democrats vote no, then you pull it.
Yeah. And, you know, I talk to a lot of people in my business that are kind of like-minded to me, and I haven't found a one yet that even knew about this census, that they count all these illegals in the census.
Right. Yeah.
They don't even know about it.
Yeah.
And the Republicans are not talking about it.
Trump said he's doing it. There's another census coming. Is it this year or next? They're doing another one, an emergency one, to get it right. It's going to be U.S. citizens only. So they're not going to wait until 2030 for that one. And this ag secretary, Brooke Rollins, says next week they're going to have 4 major announcements regarding SNAP and programs like that. So I think a big story next week is going to be this SNAP. I think it's coming next week. And she's not the perfect person to be out here doing this because nobody knows who she is. What she's saying is awesome, but it needs to be Donald J. Trump. Lowering the hammer on SNAP. We come back, our dead stone cold locks. We'll talk a little Chiefs Broncos. Uncanceled continues on KCMO.
From Leawood to Liberty, it's Kevin Kietzman. Uncanceled on 95.7 FM KCMO Talk Radio.
Welcome back to Uncanceled on KCMO Talk Radio. Great to have you with us today. Hope you're looking forward to a fantastic weekend. Should be a great one. Mark Van Parlay with us. We're checking out the odds of all the games at FanDuel.com, right? Or on FanDuel.
Oh, yeah. I love FanDuel. I love that app. So easy to use.
Is it really? So that's where we'll go for all our lines going forward.
Yeah.
So I haven't been doing very well on the Stone Cold Deadlock of the Week. Do you have any advice for me?
Look at the Iowa game and always take the under. That's my best advice. I'm not going to do that for my pick this week. I want to do something a little different, but yeah, Iowa and the under is always good.
All right, well, I'm going to keep it closer to home. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
I'm going to take the Chiefs-Broncos under 45.5 points.
That was going to be mine.
Oh, what?
We didn't talk about it beforehand. No, that's all right. I have another one, so.
Oh, no.
That's a great pick.
I probably just saved you from being wrong.
I was going to say, because if it goes over, the Chiefs are winning.
Right.
So
Andy's probably dialed up a bunch of new plays. Mahomes is going to go off. It'll go crazy. You'll win your parlay that way.
Yeah.
You'll have it all. But 45.5 seems like a lot for a Chiefs-Broncos game. What was the score at Arrowhead last year? 17, 16, something like that?
Yeah, it was under 40.
Chiefs won on a blocked field goal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go under the 45.5.
That's a great pick.
Well,
absolutely fantastic.
Like I've said every week, until it's not. So what's yours?
All right. I'm going to go with the game of the week in college football. I'm going to take Georgia minus 6.5 over Texas.
Okay.
It's a home game for Georgia. A lot of college football playoff stuff on the line there, and it's a headliner game of the week that I think everybody can watch.
My daughter's a proud Georgia grad. She'll be very happy with that pick.
Yeah.
I will pass along to her that Mark the Overseer is on it.
I'm taking it.
Okay, so there you go. Georgia and the Chiefs under are dead stone cold locks. Did you see this? I don't know if you see. I've never seen anything like this. It was on CNN last night. A lady was hosting, and she had another woman on there interviewing. They're talking about, pretty typical stuff, Epstein, Trump, whatever, all these things that are out there. And the guest is saying something, and then the host is wanting to jump in and yeah, let's get this guy. And she stops, dead interview. She goes, hang on. And the host looks down at the table. You couldn't see it. And reads a legal disclaimer that a lawyer wrote that said, while Donald Trump has been mentioned in many of the Epstein emails, he has not communicated through any of these emails, nor has he been found to have commented or been accused of anything by anyone in these emails. I'm like, a lawyer wrote this.
Yeah.
So they're literally telling you they're doing a television segment about fake news.
Yeah, or opinion.
Right. We're doing a segment here about BS.
Yeah.
Because here's the fact. The fact is there's nothing there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that. Trump has won so many lawsuits against media. Now they're doing legal disclaimers in the middle of interviews.
I think they have to do that on The View now, too.
They're scared to death. Brian Stelter was left saying that the left media that covers Trump in the proper way is, quote, held to an impossibly high standard these days, unquote. I can't even believe it. Oh, the poor leftist media. What do you think about the American League MVP voting? Aaron Judge wins for the second year in a row. Cal Raleigh finished second.
I don't like it. And it's not just because Big Dumper's my guy. I just think that he had the better season.
Make the case.
Took the Mariners to a higher spot in the playoffs. They nearly beat the Blue Jays. Took them to Game 7. So, I just think that Cal, the position he plays at catcher, every day plays catcher, never plays DH. Hit the 60 home runs, had the better overall season. I just don't know how Aaron Judge got it over.
West Coast versus East Coast is one of it. A lot of people didn't see Cal Raleigh play that much. They play late at night. The rest of the country doesn't see it. Obviously, it's the Yankees. Everybody knows Aaron Judge. I don't like it either. I think this was a good opportunity for people to say, look, this was a great MVP season and an unbelievable story for Seattle, and this catcher is a real superstar. I would have given it to him. I understand why a lot of people would want to give it to Aaron Judge. He is a better overall hitter than Cal Raleigh. We agree with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
More productive and better hitter than Cal Raleigh. But catcher, doing it as a catcher is just such an incredible feat because of all the people in baseball, catchers are the ones that really get beat up over a 6-month season.
Mm-hmm. They're in on every play.
Yeah. I feel bad that happened. That one surprised me a little bit. So it's all good. All right. I made a bold prediction on my podcast today. KK Has Issues. If you want to hear it, you can go hear the podcast any day. It's at kkhasissues.com. I'll buy or sell. The New England Patriots will be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I say yes.
I buy that. Yep. I think they're going to be the 1 seed. Easy schedule.
They have 6 games left. They're 9-2. They have one against a winning team, and that's the Bills. They've already beaten the Bills once, right?
Yeah, in Buffalo.
So they get them at home. Hey, if the Chiefs get on the road and they have to go play at New England, go for it. Have a great weekend, everybody. The Vince Show is coming up next.